The Duke Women's Basketball Radio Show. Our coverage of Duke Women's Basketball is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide. Alongside head coach Kara Lawson, here's the voice of Duke Women's Basketball, Chris Edwards.
Welcome to GRUB and our first Kara Lawson show of the season. It is great to have you with us on the Blue Devil Sports Network tonight. Great to have you with us on our YouTube channel as well. Coach, great to be with you. Our fifth year together, and great to be back at GRUB. Wendy and her staff, they are phenomenal. We're so excited to be back here again this year.
It's a great place to be. It's a great location right near campus, and just excited about this year, excited about our shows, and looking forward to talking about this team and the great start that we've had.
Let's start there. 9 games into the season, 8-1 so far this year. Those 2 big victories last week, or 3 big victories last week. The one on Sunday over Columbia, the 2 out in the desert over Kansas State and Oklahoma. As you look at where your team is now, 9 games into the season, what's kind of your 30,000-foot overview of where the squad's at heading into this week?
I like where we are. I think we've shown great improvement through the course of this first month of the year. I think we've certainly challenged ourselves, not only with opponent, but certainly location of game. We've played, I think, more road and neutral games maybe than we've played home games, and so that has been hard. We've played ranked teams. We've played talented teams in different styles as well. We've had to play different ways, and our team has embraced all of that, all of those challenges, and continuing to get better. The measure for me on our team, and I told them this at the start of the year, but it remains true. You know, what was so great about last year's team, and I don't talk about last year's team a lot with them, but I did talk with them about last year's team, the start of this year. Last year's team improved so much through the course of the season. Like from the start to the finish, man, they just kept getting better. And every day that we had practice, they came in excited to practice, they came in ready to learn, and they came in ready to fix the things that they needed to improve upon. And so that like spirit of being ready to grow and wanting to improve, that's what I kind of asked this group at the start of the year to have that. Make sure we have that. And we've had that the first month. You know, after wins, after losses, they've come into practice and they want to get better, and they're open to the areas that they need to improve. And as long as we keep that, if we keep that through the year, we will be a good team. That is easy to lose, especially when you experience success. It's actually easy to lose on both ends of the spectrum.
Sure.
You can lose it if you're experiencing a lot of success and you start to think you're great, and you don't come in with that, you know, humble attitude to keep getting better. Or if you're experiencing so much failure, it kind of depresses you, and it kind of takes away your spirit, and it takes away your joy. So both ends of the spectrum are really dangerous. We're happy to be on this end of it right now, but we've got to, you know, be mature and handle the success well.
Do you talk about the success at all with your team early in the season in terms, I know you don't talk about the rankings and things like that, but do you talk about the successes that you've had maybe on a collective and an individual basis?
Yeah, I think I acknowledge them some. That's probably a better question for V. But I think I acknowledge them. I try to, in front of them, like say, hey, this is good, what you've done. But I don't linger on it.
Sure.
You know, I try to acknowledge when they have good plays or good practices, good games. But the tests are always getting stiffer. So if we linger on a success, it's old very fast. You know, the game is old when the buzzer sounds.
Yeah.
It's old. It's old. It's already in the past. Why would we talk about it again? Unless it can be used as a vehicle for us to improve. And so that's when we talk about the games.
You mentioned playing different styles. I think about the game against Oklahoma that was up and down, 109 to 99. I think about the South Dakota State game that was a really low-scoring kind of defensive battle there toward the end. How much are the different styles going to help you as you get into ACC play and then ultimately into the postseason, hopefully?
I think the preparation for different styles, and then certainly our schemes adjust depending on who we play. So they've shown already the ability to play a different scheme against a different matchup, which makes me feel really confident going into ACC play that we'll be able to play a certain way on a Thursday and then play a different way on a Sunday. You definitely have to have that. There's a lot of good programs and a lot of good coaches, a lot of good players in our league.
think there's been 6 different players that have led your team in scoring in the first 9 games so far of this season. I feel like that's one of the strengths of this team is that you're going to have so many people that could carry you on a given night.
I do think depth is one of our strengths, for sure. I think we have a number of players that can come in and impact winning. I think scoring-wise, they're all talented scorers. I mean, we watched them all play in high school, and they all were, probably the leading scorers on their team or one of the leading scorers on the team. So they all can do that. It's nice to see our improvement on the offensive end. I think we're, very balanced. I think we share the ball really well. I mean, 38 assists on 40 field goals in the Oklahoma game. Yeah. I mean, that's impressive. Yep. And that's a credit to the players, really. I mean, that's not anything I did. That's really them sharing the ball, making the right reads. And, of course, we had a lot of possessions in that game to be able to get those 38 assists. But I think it just speaks to they're trying to make the right plays. And that's what we really talk about a lot is try to make the right plays. Don't just try to do your own thing all the time. Try to make the right plays and play with your teammates and use each other to have success.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back and have more with Coach from GRUB after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Going to hoist up a 3. How about another dagger?
This is Duke head women's basketball coach Kara Lawson. When it comes to keeping our team healthy, we turn to the team at Duke Sports Medicine. They offer full-service sports medicine care at locations throughout the Triangle, where you can see the same experts used by Duke Athletics. Make an appointment or learn more at dukehealth.org/sportsmedicine. Go Duke.
The crowd will rise as one, and what a statement, and what a win.
'Tis the season for family and friends. 'Tis the season for gifting. And 'tis the season for making holiday dreams come true. 'Tis the season for using the old-timey contraction 'tis. And 'tis the time of year for holiday scratch-offs. With over $85 million in total prizes, 'tis the best gift of all.
'Tis the season to gift endless joy with holiday scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.06 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Whether you're in the market for a new boat or just need service or accessories for an existing boat, turn to Overby Marine. Now with 2 locations in Kittrell and Lake Gaston, Overby Marine offers the highest quality of marine products and services, including the latest from Sea Ray, Centurion, Avalon, Bennington, as well as Cobalt boats. Overby Marine also offers the largest selection of parts in the region, along with full-service facilities at their 2 locations. Stop by or give them a call at 252-586-3593 or online at overbymarine.com. Overby Marine. Don't let adventure pass you by.
We're back at GRUB as the Kara Lawson Show continues on this Tuesday night. It is great to have you with us. And Coach, we were talking about your team offensively and sharing the basketball a few minutes ago. Is there such a thing as being too unselfish as a player?
I don't know if it's like too unselfish, but we always just say make the right play.
Right.
And the right play sometimes is you shooting.
Yeah.
The right play sometimes is you attacking. The right play sometimes is the ball in your hands, making something happen for us. So we kind of, I don't know if it's a play on words, but we kind of phrase it more in those terms than saying like selfish or unselfish. Because I think the players in our program, they're all unselfish. I think they all are. I think that's a trait that they all share. So just because they shot the ball, I would never call them selfish.
Right.
I would say, like, was that the right read? And that's kind of how we talk about it in those terms.
In terms of the togetherness of this group, it seems like it's a group that really likes one another, that enjoys spending time outside of basketball with each other. How much does that translate to the success on the court?
I think anytime that you enjoy one another's presence, it makes it so much more fulfilling to have success together. And I think it also makes it, less, I don't want to say less hurtful, but less damaging when you have failures together because you're connected. and you have each other to support one another through those times. So I think life is just better when you have a connection with the people that you work closely with and the people that you're friends with. And there's no doubt our team has a great connection on and off the floor. And I do think that allows us to, have a great trust in one another and have happiness and really good feelings. When one of our players plays a good game, they feel really good for that player that had a great game. And they all share in that success. And I think that makes the locker room, a joyful place, certainly after wins, because you're celebrating what different players have been able to achieve in that game.
Let's talk about your club offensively, shooting 48% from the field, 39% from three. Pleased overall with how the offense has progressed through the first 9 games of the season?
I think so. Efficiency is one of our things that we talked about as a team that we wanted to improve on from a year ago. Shooting efficiency is something we talked about. Wanted to improve on our turnovers, assist to turnover ratio. As a group, we wanted to get that better, and so I think we're improving in that. But the road's going to get tougher here. So it's one thing to do it against a certain level of team, and it's another thing to do it through 18 games of ACC play. So that will be where the rubber meets the road when we're getting scouted heavily and we're playing against top teams. Are we able to still have that efficiency? Are we able to still have ball security and take care of the basketball? Do
you like the shot selection that you're getting on the offensive end?
I do. Yeah, I do by and large. Yeah, I think they're doing a good job.
We've talked a lot about playing with tempo and playing with pace during our conversations. As a player, as a coach, how do you know when the right time is to try to play in transition or try to run maybe a half-court set or play more of a half-court game? Is some of that dictated by the opponent that you're playing?
No.
Okay.
Typically, we want them, if they see something, if they see an opportunity to attack, we want them to take advantage of it. If we feel like we have an advantage, and that's, it starts with our point guards, but also the rest of our perimeter players. When we get a miss, if we feel like there's an advantage and we can take advantage of it in primary, we want to. We want to pull it out if we don't have an advantage or we don't have an opportunity for a good play. So you just trust their judgment. We certainly teach it. I mean, I think we do. I hope they would say that we do teach them some things. I think we try to show them, hey, this would be an opportunity where you can be aggressive. Hey, this would be an opportunity where you should pull it out.
Right.
And that's just in talking to them in film and obviously correcting in practice and in the games as well.
Where do you feel like the biggest growth area is for your team on the offensive end?
Where we need to grow?
Yeah.
No, I hadn't thought about it like that. I think of it more in like individual growth, overall, I think probably half-court execution. I don't think we've been terrible in it, but I think when you start to play top teams and you start to be in these possession games late, and certainly when you get to the postseason, the game becomes about execution in the half court. Can we do that? I thought we did it well in the overtime against Oklahoma. Like I thought that was a bright spot, but one game doesn't make you a great half court execution team. So that'd probably be something that we could improve on.
Since you brought up Oklahoma, we talked about this a little bit too, but the resiliency that your team showed in that game after the player hits the shot at the buzzer to force overtime, maybe easy for a team to fold in a situation like that, but your team came out, had a counterpunch. How nice was that to see the resiliency of your squad in that game in particular?
Yeah, that game had a wide range of emotions, and for us to just maintain, our steady emotional state and to be able to go and take over in that overtime. Offensively, we were pretty much lights out in that overtime. We scored almost every time down the court and were able to put the game away. I was really proud of that response.
All right, we'll take another timeout. We'll come back to GRUB and have more with Coach after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
For any Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
Are we still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
For any surface and every season, Continental Tire is the smart choice in tires. From ultra-high performance tires like the Extreme Contact Sport 02 to passenger touring tires to all-terrain light truck tires like the Terrain Content AT, Continental has a tire that gives you confidence no matter the road conditions. Whether you're looking for summer, all-season, or winter tires, Continental Tire has something to fit your needs. Visit ContinentalTire.com to find your ideal tire. Continental Tire, a proud partner of the Duke Blue Devils. Blue Devil fans, here's your chance to team up with Duke Basketball in a season-long effort to support Duke Children's Hospital. We're asking 1,000 fans to be Hoops Heroes for the kids at Duke Children's by making a $25 gift to the Charity Stripe 1000 Challenge. Your gift enters you for a chance to win tickets to the Duke UNC game in Cameron Indoor Stadium on February 1st. Give your 25 by texting Hoops Hero to 919-372-4159 and become a Duke Children's Hoops Hero today.
Are you ready to show your Duke pride wherever you go? Visit shop.duke.edu, your one-stop online store for all things Duke. From the latest apparel to must-have accessories, Duke University Stores has it all. Whether you're a student, alumni, or fan, shop.duke.edu has something for everyone. Get your hands on exclusive Duke gear today. Shop conveniently online at shop.duke.edu, where real Duke fans shop.
We're back at GRUB with the head coach of the Blue Devils, Kara Lawson. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday night, our first show of the year. We've got a stack of questions from our audience tonight, Coach. So we'll get to some of those now.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Stack.
a stack. Look at this, like a whole stack of.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I'm concerned. They've had like 10 months to think of these questions.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what they're going to say.
And we're going to stay away from some of the social media questions that we got today.
Oh, probably best. Yeah.
Perry, who is here, what was your top takeaway from the Olympic Games?
Gold medal.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, love it.
Yeah. There's so many takeaways. It's hard to pick just one. I mean, I have it's such a great learning experience for me every time I step inside of USA Basketball. It's the best of the best, not just the players, but the coaches as well. Our coaches meetings every morning were awesome. I mean, Cheryl Reeves, a terrific coach, the head coach of the Minnesota Lynx. Mike Tebow, former head coach of the Washington Mystics, and he coached me on the assistant coach on the 08 Olympic team, and also was a coach for me in the WNBA for 4 seasons. And Kurt Miller, who's now with the Dallas Wings, and Tanisha Wright. So we had 4 WNBA head coaches in our coaches meeting, and then Joni Taylor, who's the head coach at Texas A&M. So we'd sit around every day, and we'd talk about game plan and scheme, and how we're gonna. What we're going to do and how we're going to teach this and practice. And you can't really go anywhere and get that. It's kind of priceless if you think about it. When you're a head coach, there's not many places you go to develop. Like where do you go to get better?
Yeah.
Because you're always with your team. And so to be able to not only just go somewhere. Now, you can go to clinics and stuff.
Right.
But you're not in it. Like your decisions at a clinic don't matter. My decisions in Paris mattered, or my suggestions mattered. It was Cheryl's decisions, right? They mattered.
Yeah.
When you get turned to in the third quarter and it's a possession game, it's like, hey, what do you want to run here? Or hey, who do we want to sub in here? So you're in the middle of these conversations that are meaningful. So for me, as a young coach, it's invaluable. Is invaluable. So that was probably my takeaway. Just like I think I grew, I think I became better for these players here at Duke with the reps and then the wisdom that I was around in Paris.
How do you compare winning a gold medal as a player versus winning a gold medal as a coach? Does it feel any different?
Yes, because you don't actually get a gold medal as a coach. Only the players get gold medals. So you do win one, but you don't get one. So I actually only have 1 gold medal. I've been a part of 3 gold medal winning teams. 4, 3. I've been a part of 3 gold medal winning teams, but I only have 1 gold medal. So it does feel different. And you don't go on the podium as a coach. Only the players go on the podium. So it feels a little different. Definitely more nerve-wracking both, but more nerve-wracking as a coach than player.
Is it because you can't control the outcome of the game?
I wasn't controlling anything over there. I had no control. I was I wasn't just along for the ride. I like to think I was contributing, but I was not controlling anything.
Deb, who's here tonight, 2 amazing wins in Vegas, stellar play. How do you keep us humble when coming into the game against Columbia on Sunday, who gave us a hard time and says a reminder, still time to give on this Giving Tuesday?
How do I keep the team humble?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I do anything to try to keep them humble. I think we just operate in reality and in truth. And so when we show the film, we say, hey, this was good or this was bad. And really the results are relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Like you either played a good defensive possession or a good offensive possession or you didn't. And whether they scored or not is irrelevant. Are you doing the things that we're asking you to do? So we just show that. We just keep, we show the possessions and we teach. And the lion's share of the teaching is done by the assistants. They're the ones that are really coaching this team, and we teach and we show, and then we try to improve. And we talk about what's out there. Like, people are very excited about us right now. So what? I mean, that doesn't mean anything. They weren't excited about us last year. So what? It didn't mean anything. It didn't change our trajectory. Someone else's opinion of you doesn't change whether you can do it or not. Someone else's opinion of you doesn't increase or decrease your likelihood that you will do it. It's just someone's opinion of you. So if that opinion doesn't increase or decrease the likelihood, then why would we ever worry about it? It's hard not to, because it is in your face all the time. But you can't allow that to dictate your level of work, your level of preparation, whether someone thinks you're good or not. I am only concerned with whether we think we're good or not. And I am only concerned if our players know whether we're good or not, because they know they're able to watch a film and watch a possession and say, yes, that was good, or no, that wasn't. So if we can teach them what's good and what's not, then they can self-regulate that too, and then we can hopefully become a good team by the end of the year.
Up against a timeout, we'll come back to GRUB and have more with Coach after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Enjoying the game but not the drink being spilled down your back or the foam finger poking? Well, head to the concession stand, grab a Lindy's Italian Ice, and take a 6-ounce vacation. A 6-ounce cup of lemon Italian Ice will make you feel like you're swaying in a hammock, and the only thing in your face is a cool, salty breeze. That ought to have you refreshed. Now get your head back in the game and start belting out blue and white with the youthful exuberance of the freshman behind you. Yes, the same one that keeps spilling his drink down your back. Lindy's Italian Ice. Have an ice day.
Think about the last time you moved. Remember how you said you'd never do it alone again? We know moving is tough, but at 2 Men and a Truck, we make it easy. No matter the move, big or small, we'll make it a smooth one. We're the movers who care, and will prove it with our 96% referral rate and courteous background check movers. We're local and affordable. We can help at a price that won't make you wish you'd done it on your own. When you're ready, give us a call or find us online for a free estimate at 2menandatruck.com.
Since our doors first opened in 1988, the Washington Duke Inn and Golf Club has celebrated the contributions of its namesake, paying tribute to a life of community service and philanthropy. This is the cornerstone of our commitment to the Durham community. Duke family artifacts and photographs can be found throughout the hallways of the inn. Visit us as we continue to celebrate tradition over trend, as we have for more than 30 years. For reservations, visit us at WashingtonDukeInn.com. That's WashingtonDukeInn.com.
10 years ago, who could have predicted what the internet would bring? Streaming videos, voice assistants, smartphones, smart homes, work from home. But here we are, wondering what the next 10 years will bring. Whatever it brings, Lumos 100% fiber optic internet is ready with incredible speeds and reliability. So you can do more and be more than you ever thought possible on the internet built for the future. Plans start at $50 per month. Learn more at lumosfiber.com/next.
We're back at GRUB with the head coach of the Blue Devils, Kara Lawson. Our first show of the season. Coach, we're kind of burying the lead here a little bit. Haven't talked at all about any individual performances. Reagan Richardson, ACC Co-Player of the Week. It was announced yesterday, announced today. National Player of the Week as well. Over the last 3 games, 23 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 54% from the field. Just thoughts from you on Reagan and her growth and the way that she's playing to start this season for your team.
Reagan's playing very well for us. As a senior, she is, just grown in every area since she came to Duke. Very consistent offensive player. Her efficiency numbers are way up. She's playmaking. She's always defended at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
Reagan, even as a sophomore, was one of our best defenders. And so she's just continuing just a natural progression. And very pleased with her progress. And the thing about Reagan that I wish more people knew, and they don't know because I don't tell them. I tell people what I want them to know.
Yeah.
That's just how I am. I think that's a good way to be.
It is.
But the thing that I wish people could know about Reagan and observe about Reagan is I have coached Reagan for 3 years. Reagan has never had a bad practice. Never had a bad effort practice. I've never, honest to God, you can ask Vanessa, I've never yelled at Reagan to practice harder in 3 years. Never. She's made mistakes in practice, don't get me wrong. She's had bad practices where maybe she didn't shoot well or she turned it over a lot or something like that. But I've never had to say hey, Reagan, you're not working hard today, work harder.
Mm-hmm.
In 3 years. Think about that. Most people in 3 weeks are going to have a day.
That's right.
That they don't work hard.
Yeah.
And in 3 years, Reagan, I'm there. So this is not a surprise to me because Reagan for 3 years has done the work in practice. Before practice, during practice, she knows the plays, she knows the scheme, all of those things she's done. And so for me, it's just very satisfying to see a player have a start to the season like this that has done all the work, that's checked all the boxes, right? That didn't skip a step. She has done all the work, and now she's reaping those benefits.
How about Ashlyn and the way that she's played? About right at 15 points per game so far this year. Had that big 30-point game against Kansas State. What have you liked about her game to start the season?
Ashlyn has been steady for us this year. She's a great leader for us, a great communicator. She's getting to play more wing this year, which I think has helped her efficiency and helped her scoring output. She continues to be someone that we depend on to play well. She, like Reagan, can excel in every area of the game. Ashlyn's a good defender. Ashlyn can play make. Ashlyn can shoot the three. Ashlyn can drive. I mean, there's so many ways that she can impact the game. And now as a junior, just coming into her own.
Jaden Donovan, 8 points and 7 rebounds a game so far this year. What's the biggest area of growth you've seen from Jaden from the end of her freshman season to now?
Biggest area of growth from the end of her freshman season till now with Jaden is probably her consistency on the glass. We saw it in spurts last year, but I think this year she's been more consistent rebounding for us, and we need that. I think she's dipped a little bit maybe the last couple games in the rebounding, but hopefully, she's capable of getting 10 rebounds a game. She's an excellent rebounder. And so she did that early in the season for us with those double-digit rebounds, and she's just had, I think, a more aggressive approach to the glass, which has been good.
I feel like it's going to have to be a rebounding by committee effort from your team. Like everyone needs to rebound in every game for your team this year?
I think for sure it needs to be by committee, but, we also have players that are excellent rebounders. I mean, Jaden is an excellent rebounder. Aluchi led us in rebounding last year. She's an excellent rebounder. Toby, in her history, if you go back and watch Toby when I recruited her, she is a great rebounder too. So I think we have 3 players that actually it's a specialty of theirs. But to answer your question, yes, we do need everybody to rebound, everyone to participate on the glass, because that's how you have a great rebounding team.
Melissa, who's in our audience tonight, wants to know what makes the reverse layup such a handy tool for players in today's game. Jaden, in particular, is so spectacular at those.
It just gives you a chance if you drive and they don't cut you off, but you're behind the basket, you can finish on the other side, and you can use the rim and the glass to protect you from getting your shot blocked. So it is nice. We have a lot of players that finish. Jaden probably with the most frequency, but Delaney as well, Toby as well. Vanessa has had some reverse layups in the season. So a lot of our players have the ability to finish that way.
We're going to talk to Vanessa in a second, but just since she's here and you get a chance just to talk about Vanessa and what she means to you and to this program.
Yeah, Vanessa is the player that has been through it all with me. Like she's been here from the beginning. This is my 5th year. This is Vanessa's 5th year. We came in as rookies together. I say this a lot. Like I didn't know what a De Jesus was. Okay, because I was in the NBA, and I come to Duke and they said I have a De Jesus coming in as a freshman. I didn't know what that was. I had never seen her play. I didn't know who she was. I didn't know anything about her, And so we talked on the phone, and when Vanessa first called me after I took the job, okay, Vanessa calls me, and my head is spinning because I got a lot of things going on, And Vanessa calls me, and I see the number, and I was just preparing for the breakup. Because I think that's a natural thought, right? Like she didn't sign with me, and so she signed with the previous staff. So it would be natural and no hard feelings, like to think that a player would go in a different direction when there's a coaching change, and that's fine. And so I was preparing to get dropped, and so I pick up the phone, and I remember just pausing because I'm ready for the news, I'm ready for her to say it. And she still starts talking about when she's showing up, and when does she have to be at Duke, and how excited she is. And in my head, I'm like, well, she's coming? I didn't know she's still coming. She doesn't even know me. Like, how's she coming? She doesn't know me. So, V, like, what's really important when you start your coaching career is that you have some players that believe in you before you've shown that you can do anything. I hadn't shown I could do anything yet. And so Vanessa was an early adopter, even before she knew me. She believed in Duke probably more than she believed in me. I think she believed in Duke. From a young age, she wanted to be at Duke. But I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that confidence that Vanessa showed in me as a coach, in our staff, in our program, that in spite of zero relationship before she got here, that she believed we could build something special. And one of the things that V and I talked about, and, we'll go to a break. When I say we'll go to a break.
It's fine with me, Coach.
My name's on the show.
That's exactly right.
So one of the things that I said to Vanessa when she got hurt, because it was really, emotional, as it would be for anybody, was as much as I was sad that Vanessa was hurt, and as much as I was going to miss having her out on the court, I was thankful to have more time with her. This was going to give me more time with her, even though it wasn't how we planned it, and even though it wasn't what we thought. The more time, if you get a chance to spend time with her, the more time you get with Vanessa, you benefit from it. You just do. She's a wonderful person and a wonderful player. So I have been lucky, and I say this to the staff all the time. At the beginning, I didn't know what a De Jesus was. I could coach 20 more years and never have a De Jesus. She's a special kid.
That's awesome. We're going to talk to V, Coach. Coming up, let's talk to V. We'll be back to GRUB in just a moment on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp. Refreshing. And ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
For any surface and every season, Continental Tire is the smart choice in tires. From ultra-high performance tires like the Extreme Contact Sport 02 to passenger touring tires to all-terrain light truck tires like the Terrain Content AT, Continental has a tire that gives you confidence no matter the road conditions. Whether you're looking for summer, all-season, or winter tires, Continental Tire has something to fit your needs. Visit ContinentalTire.com to find your ideal tire. Continental Tire, a proud partner of the Duke Blue Devils.
Enjoying the game but not the drink being spilled down your back or the foam finger poking you in the face? Well, head to the concession stand, grab a Lindy's Italian Ice, and take a 6-ounce vacation. A 6-ounce cup of lemon Italian Ice will make you feel like you're swaying in a hammock, and the only thing in your face is a cool, salty breeze. And that ought to have you refreshed. Now get your head back in the game and start belting out blue and white with the youthful exuberance of the freshman behind you. Yes, the same one that keeps spilling his drink down your back. Lindy's Italian Ice. Have an ice day.
Hey Duke fans, want to enhance your game day experience? Poetry Finance, official digital banking partner of Duke Athletics, is here to help. With Poetry, managing your finances is a breeze. Just download the Poetry app to discover how Poetry Finance can help you. Poetry Finance, write your own future. Start now. Financial tools for everyone. Let us help you get started at poetryfinance.com. That's poetryfinance.com.
We're back at GRUB in our first Carol Lawson radio show of the season. It is great to have you with us, and we are delighted to have Vanessa De Jesus joining us. V, thank you so much for joining us. A great crowd here tonight. Everybody loves V, so thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk kind of what Coach was talking about. Just when Coach got the job, that phone call, that conversation, and why Duke for you, and why it's always been Duke for you.
Yeah, so as Coach mentioned, as a kid, like Duke was definitely one of those like dream schools for me, just the academics and also like the sisterhood here. But again, I didn't know Coach Kara, but I did watch her a little bit, like some of her highlights when I heard that she was going to be the coach, and I like looked her up, and I was watching, at Tennessee, and then she played in the W, and I just saw how great of a player she was and all the knowledge that she had, and it kind of made it like a no-brainer for me that this was a place to really develop and help me get to the next level as a player and a person. So.
Talk to me a little bit about the injury, about the process of getting back. Like I know there were hard days. There's hard days for everybody when you're coming back from an injury. How did you get through those tough days?
Yeah, I said the biggest thing was the support system, like from my teammates to the coaches to the support staff to my family. They were there for me from day one. I knew I could always count on them, like give them a call whenever I was down, pick me up at practice when I was having hard days. And honestly, without them, I probably wouldn't have gone through it as easy as it was, but yeah, they were really big for me.
What did you learn about yourself, about basketball, maybe your love for basketball during the last year when you hadn't been able to be out on the court with your teammates?
Yeah, this is honestly the longest break from basketball I ever had since I was like a little kid. So it kind of just showed me how much I really love basketball. Like for some people, I feel like when you have that kind of injury, it can kind of make you like step away from basketball and realize like, oh, I don't really like it as much. But for me, it was the opposite. It drew me forward to want to get back on the court even more, and kind of just how much I love it and how much I was like waiting to get back on the court. Yeah.
Did you learn anything maybe about the game or the nuances of the game, being able to sit in practice every day and be around the coaching staff?
Yeah, I think, as a player, you're kind of in the middle of everything, and like your perspective is very like up close, but kind of like where my perspective was kind of like a coach, kind of like, kind of a way, kind of be able to see where all the players are at and, the strengths and like the weaknesses of us. So for me, it kind of helped me grow that perspective that I probably would have never had playing basketball, because it's a whole different game being on the sideline versus on the court.
What was it like? And maybe it's hard to put it into words, but just the emotions, that first game back, being in Cameron, everybody there. What were the emotions like for you there?
Yeah, I definitely had some butterflies. I was like, oh my gosh, like I had my jersey on. I remember like looking at it and like kind of like almost tearing up a little bit, because obviously it was a long journey coming back from the injury, but it was honestly just so much fun, like being around the team, kind of just feeling what it was like to be back on the court again. yeah, it was very like surreal every time I step on the court. But I think that first game back was definitely different.
Hey, Coach and I were talking about it earlier, and you and I have talked about it for our radio stuff. But just the closeness of this team. I mean, you guys hang out together outside of basketball too. Can you describe the bond that this group has, not just on the court or in the locker room, but also out in Durham and on campus as well?
Oh yeah, we're so close. You can't even imagine. Like, it's so funny because everybody's so unique. Like, there's no one who's the same. Everybody has their own humor. But because of all of that, we all get along really well. And I just love them so much. I think I'm so grateful to have them as teammates and even just as people in my life. And I feel like we're going to be friends forever. So I'm just really happy I'm able to play with this group.
Do you think that's what makes this team so special? Like on the court success is because you're so close off the court?
Yeah. I've heard of teams where, there's always dramas or people don't get along. But honestly, we all love each other. Like, I wouldn't say there's anybody that has drama with each other. We really love playing with each other, love spending time with each other, and I think it just shows on the court.
It's awesome. What do you love most about Duke and Durham in general?
Yeah, I've been here for so long. I kind of like the trees now. At first, it was kind of
trees.
At first, it was kind of claustrophobic. I was everywhere I look, because I'm from California, so it'd be mountains or the beach. But I'd say it's really pretty out here. The people here are great too, very nice people. And yeah, kind of just Duke in general, everything about Duke, the academics from the team, all of it.
What's been your favorite class so far at Duke?
Oh, well, last year I took a entomology class, which was a bug class, and I had to catch bugs because I'm a bio major. So I went out, during class, we'd go out for labs, and I have a huge, net. And this is when I was on my crutches. So I'd be, crutching around. I have, my net trying to catch, butterflies and stuff. And that was probably one of the coolest classes. Yeah, probably one of my favorites.
As folks watch this team, watch you play, what do you hope they take away from coming to watch this team play for the rest of the season?
Yeah, again, one is that sisterhood, it's real, on and off the court. We really love each other, and I think at the end of the day, that will help us go far this year. And then also just how much we want it. We're a young team, and we did all right last year, but we still want more. We're not satisfied from last year, and we're going to continue to compete and continue to push forward throughout the year.
V, you're the best. Thanks for doing this. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Vanessa De Jesus on the Kara Lawson Show tonight. We're back to Grub and more in a moment.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp. Refreshing. And ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Blue Devil fans, here's your chance to team up with Duke basketball in a season-long effort to support Duke Children's Hospital. We're asking 1,000 fans to be Hoops heroes for the kids at Duke Children's by making a $25 gift to the Charity Stripe 1000 Challenge. Your gift enters you for a chance to win tickets to the Duke UNC game in Cameron Indoor Stadium on February 1st. Give your 25 by texting Hoops Hero to 919-372-4159 and become a Duke Children's Hoops Hero today.
I feel happy, Valero Pay Plus app.
I feel happy, it makes savings a snap.
Use it and start saving automatically.
You just save some money, not too shabby.
I feel happy, I'm in and out real fast.
I feel happy, now pit stops are a blast.
Download today and get in on the fun. Valero Pay Plus app, your savings have begun.
10 years ago, who could have predicted what the internet would bring? Streaming videos, voice assistants, smartphones, smart homes, work from home. But here we are, wondering what the next 10 years will bring. Whatever it brings, Lumos 100% fiber optic internet is ready with incredible speeds and reliability. So you can do more and be more than you ever thought possible on the internet built for the future. Plans start at $50 per month. Learn more at lumosfiber.com/next.
Whether you're in the market for a new boat or just need service or accessories for an existing boat, turn to Overby Marine. Now with 2 locations in Kittrell and Lake Gaston, Overby Marine offers the highest quality of marine products and services, including the latest from Sea Ray, Centurion, Avalon, Bennington, as well as Cobalt boats. Overby Marine also offers the largest selection of parts in the region, along with full-service facilities at their 2 locations. Stop by or give them a call at 252-586-3593 or online at overbymarine.com. Overby Marine. Don't let adventure pass you by.
back at GRUB with the head coach of the Blue Devils, Kara Lawson. Thanks for joining us tonight. Coach, it's hard to put into words how great V is. It's a really fun chat with her just a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, she's terrific and, such a vital part of our team in more ways than one. Obviously, a really good basketball player, but also her leadership, her experience, her wisdom. I mean, just look at it right now even, obviously the challenge of getting the injury.
Yep.
But I don't know if, she ever imagined there'd be other teammates with an injury and at different stages of their rehab and the, motivation she can help for them, the inspiration she can help with them, with Riley and Ari both being out for the season. She's just been through it. And it's so valuable to have someone in your life that's just been through something that you're going through to be able to lean on. So I think just even off the court, for a couple players that aren't playing for us this year, I think she's been a really valuable resource.
How about the play on the court of both Vanessa and Mayer as well, and how they're playing really well at the point guard position this month?
Yeah, I think our point guard play has been good, and we've talked a lot. We've met a lot, T and V and I, and we talked about kind of what I'm looking for. What do I want from them? And we've watched film together. We've watched lots of different film together, not just our film. We've watched different point guards. We've watched different games, and get them to have a better understanding of what I want. And then they have, in the first month of the season, delivered in what I want. They're doing a great job with their assist-to-turnover ratio, which is critically important for your point guard play. They're both very efficient shooting the basketball, which is critical for your point guard play. And then the thing I always say to them when they leave my meeting is that I ask them, what's the number one stat for a point guard? Does anyone know the number one stat for a point guard? No, it's not assists. Huh? B, what is it? It's wins, baby. It's wins. It's wins. The number one stat for a point guard is how many wins you lead your team to. I don't care about the other stats. Do you win? Right?
I love it.
That's it. That's the number one stat. At the end of the game as a point guard, you were successful if you led your team to victory. It didn't matter how it looked. And so that's the mindset we want them to have every night is how can I lead my team to a win? And am I doing everything that I can, not just playing, directing, commanding, when I'm on the bench, helping the other point guard. They have a great relationship, T and V. They help one another. When one of them's in, usually one of them's out. So is the one that is out helping to see what's going on? Are they talking, throughout the game? All of those go into it. And so there's a lot of room for growth for both of them. I'm happy with how they've started the season, but they can play better than they've played, and I believe that they will.
How about Jordan Wood and the impact that she has had? Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Been awesome to see that.
Woody. That's my girl. I love Woody. Who doesn't love Woody?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody loves Woody.
Yep.
She's she's grown so much. I'm so proud of Woody. You think about as a freshman, everything's coming at you. And she didn't get to play a lot. I mean, you guys were all at the game. She didn't get too much of an opportunity. She had a lot of things that she needed to learn and grow in. And she's just made such a big jump and is a important member of our rotation now, and it's great to see. I mean, that's a big reason why you coach, is to watch the development and see it and be a part of it. And I'm not that big a part of it, but she has. It's been mostly Jordan and her mindset and her maturity. She's grown a lot. I think she's much more mature as a person, as a player than she was a year ago, and. I'm very happy for her success.
Just the freshman class in general, obviously the ones you brought in, plus Lou last year who came in too. Can you just speak to the growth of that class kind of as a whole as they move into this second season in your program?
Yeah, I mean, the sophomores were asked to grow up really quickly. Yeah. They came into a team that – We didn't have a lot of returning players on that team. Obviously, we had lost Vanessa to injury in the summer. And we really asked a lot of them as freshmen. We asked them to be impact players. We needed them to play well every night. We needed them to be consistent, and they delivered. They delivered, and they improved through the year. Now, as sophomores, of course, we're asking for more. That's what we do. And we want them to be even more consistent. And I think all of them have shown great growth and great improvement, and they're all critical members of this team.
As we wrap up this segment, one more time left, a non-basketball question that I've got to ask you. Robert from Hillsborough wants to know your thoughts on the NFC East.
I know that's Bob. I hate the Eagles.
I know you do.
Those are my thoughts.
Okay.
My thoughts on the NFC East are I hate the Eagles, I hate the Cowboys, and I hate the Giants. The end.
Okay. We'll take a break. We'll come back and wrap things up with Coach from GRUB after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up. Home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
For any surface and every season, Continental Tire is the smart choice in tires. From ultra-high performance tires like the Extreme Contact Sport 02 to passenger touring tires to all-terrain light truck tires like the Terrain Content AT, Continental has a tire that gives you confidence no matter the road conditions. Whether you're looking for summer, all-season, or winter tires, Continental Tire has something to fit your needs. Visit ContinentalTire.com to find your ideal tire. Continental Tire, a proud partner of the Duke Blue Devils. Blue Devil fans, here's your chance to team up with Duke basketball in a season-long effort to support Duke Children's Hospital. We're asking 1,000 fans to be hoops heroes for the kids at Duke Children's by making a $25 gift to the Charity Stripe 1000 Challenge. Your gift enters you for a chance to win tickets to the Duke UNC game in Cameron Indoor Stadium on February 1st. Give your 25 by texting Hoops Hero to 919-372-4159 and become a Duke Children's Hoops Hero today.
Are you ready to show your Duke pride wherever you go? Visit shop.duke.edu, your one-stop online store for all things Duke. From the latest apparel to must-have accessories, Duke University Stores has it all. Whether you're a student, alumni, or fan, shop.duke.edu has something for everyone. Get your hands on exclusive Duke gear today. Shop conveniently online at shop.duke.edu, where real Duke fans shop.
We're back at GRUB to wrap things up with the head coach of the Blue Devils, Carol Lawson, on our first radio show of the season. A few more audience questions. Does Toby have the go-ahead to dunk anytime she wants? That's from Stella, who's here tonight.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think, most of Toby's dunks have been of the breakaway variety. And, I really only remember a couple breakaways maybe so far this season.
Yeah.
And they were contested, so. Yeah, I think it could happen at any point if she gets a breakaway. She's got to get in those passing lanes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Leads us to a great segue. Averaging about 12 steals per game on the defensive end this year. How big are steals and deflections for your team on the defensive end of the floor?
Yeah, deflections are bigger than steals for us. I mean, we'd like to get steals, no doubt, but I think you can take the temperature of the disruption by the deflections, and are we active in getting those? And a lot of times deflections will turn into steals. So that's something that we talk about, trying to disrupt and bring the pressure for sure.
What about your post players? I mean, we talked a lot about Toby earlier. Delaney having some great games as well. It was good to see Janessa back out there and played some really big minutes out in Vegas, especially in the game against Oklahoma. Just thoughts on the post players as a whole so far?
We have a deep and talented front court, and they all bring something really important to the table. We've talked about that as a group all year. Like, for us to reach our potential and for us to develop into a great team, we need everybody to play well. And, that's incumbent upon each one of them to keep getting better in practice and to keep putting themselves in positions to have success in games. And so Delaney is a player that we need to play well. She brings a lot of great attributes to our team on both ends of the floor. Cotton is not somebody that our fans have seen a ton of, but she's a really talented player. And so when she can be more consistent, she brings things to the team that nobody else brings. So they all have these individual, unique things that they bring to the team. And your job when you're on a team is to make sure you bring what you bring, right? You can't sign up to bring the dessert at the potluck and not bring the pot and not bring it.
Yeah.
Because then there's no dessert. Nobody else was bringing it.
Yeah.
Somebody else brought cups.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, it's and so now nobody's got dessert because you didn't bring what you were supposed to bring, and that's what it's like being on a team. Your job is to bring what you uniquely bring to the group, and your job is to bring that consistently.
Do you look at the post players this year the same maybe you did with Kennedy and Camilla last year? Like you look at their stats and you view them as one player in terms, or do you look at them as individual players as well? Do you see what I'm saying? Like last year, Kennedy and Camilla might have combined for 18 points and 9 rebounds or something like that.
Yeah, sometimes I'll look at statistically if there's just two playing a position, then I'll look at that combined. But I don't look at the counting stats as much as I look at the efficiencies, things like that. Yeah.
With Kennedy last year, was so good at calling coverages and just being kind of the quarterback of your defense from the post. Who's taken the mantra? Is it a kind of by committee to pick up the mantle and what she did for your defense last year?
I don't think there's one player that can replace Kennedy in terms of how she organized us. But I do think that all of our players defensively are working hard to try and communicate better and see scheme, see plays earlier and communicate that. So I don't know that there's one. But our forwards, I think we've talked with Jaden and Delaney a lot to take on a portion of that because positionally they're playing that spot that Kennedy played. And they are the ones with the most experience. We're very young in the front court, so Jaden and Delaney are sophomores. Woody's a sophomore, but didn't play a ton as a freshman. And then Cotton and Toby are freshmen. So it really is Jaden and Delaney that give us the most experience there. So we've talked with them about being able to organize more and communicate more with that. But I think our guards have picked up communication as well. Reagan's talking more. T is talking more. Ashlyn has always talked. She's my number one talker, and that's a good thing. She's my number one talker, and so they're all playing a part. But I would say Jaden and Delaney, we need to continue to see growth from them in terms of organizing us from the front court.
Let me ask you about your defense as a whole. What have you liked about your club defensively through the first 9 games, and where are the areas you still want to see improvement as we head into this week?
I like how hard we play. It's my favorite quality.
Yep.
We play really very hard. We compete. Those are my favorite qualities of players and people. I think we have shown an ability to pick up like our concepts and our rotations, and I think we're rotating. We might be rotating at a higher level as a group now than we were this time last year. But it's hard to say if we're a better defensive team than we were last year. I don't know. I haven't compared.
Sure.
I've just focused on this group, but I think our rotations at times have been really good. Our awareness has been really good. We're doing it a little differently because we don't have a true center. We have forwards, and so we're doing it a little differently, but we're still able to be effective and disrupt, which I like.
Let's talk about this week ahead. Challenging week with South Carolina on the road Thursday and the ACC-SEC Challenge, and then Virginia Tech, the conference opener on Friday. Biggest things that you want to see out of your team, and maybe the biggest keys to a successful week against the Gamecocks and the Hokies.
Two very talented teams. Obviously, a road game makes it extra challenging. We're going to have to play very well. I think this is the best team we've played to this point, at least from watching them on film. A very complete team, offensively and defensively, a lot of depth, a lot of athleticism. So they've just got a lot of good players, and it's going to be a lot of fun for us to go down there and compete in that environment. So we're just looking at trying to stay really focused, narrow focused on what it is that we need to do in that game and in our job in that game. And then as we move to Sunday, we haven't talked a ton about Sunday yet, but the one thing that we have talked about is how important an ACC game is. You only get 18 of them, and we want to be a team that contends. And so this is the first step to doing that, is to try to win one game. And it's a really important game for us. And certainly you only get 9 of the ACC games at home. And you really, if you want to be a team that's thought of as one of the top teams, you have to take care of your home court in this league.
All right, Coach. Great to be with you tonight. Look forward to seeing you on Thursday in Columbia. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Thanks to GRUB. Thanks for joining us for the Carol Lawson Show on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
You've been listening to the Duke Women's Basketball Radio Show. Our coverage of Duke Women's Basketball has been brought to you by Coca-Cola. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Blue Devil Sports Network.